Welcome to Hot Takes, my brand new series on YouTube where I'm going to tackle the toughest topics in cricket, and not actual topics, but your topics. What you think is right, what you think is wrong, and I'm going to do my best to try and pick them apart and see if I agree with you, see if I disagree with you, see if you're speaking any sense whatsoever. My name is Dan, subscribe to the channel if you're new, drop me a like on the video, and if you'd like to have your hot take analysed and torn to pieces by one of the greatest YouTube and cricketing brains like myself, either drop me a comment on the video or follow me on Instagram where I will pop up a story when I'm about to go and record the next one. So I think I've got 8 or 9 hot takes jotted down here with some information on it. So let's get into it and let's see what people have had to say for themselves. Hot take number 1 is from Dante. Basically, the World Test Championship should have promotion and relegation involved. Do you know, I think I agree with this. I do genuinely think I agree with this. The World Test Championship's kind of old news now, isn't it? Because South Africa won it about 2 weeks ago and nobody's talking about it now. I don't even know, has the next cycle started? I think this England versus India series is part of the next cycle, so it doesn't really have a lot of time to mature and for South Africa to celebrate that win. But I've put some thoughts down. And my first thought with regards to it is, what's the split? Is it, say, top 5? Top 5, bottom 5? Is it top 4, middle 4, bottom 4? I like top 5, bottom 5. I do like that, and I like a little bit of jeopardy in the middle. And I think as well, if you had a bit of promotion and relegation, you wouldn't end up with Ben Stokes coming out in the press and saying, well, I don't understand it, so it doesn't really matter and it's not important to us, because I don't think England then would want to be relegated to the second tier of the World Test Championship based on the fact that they couldn't be bothered to get around their overs quickly and they got penalised again for a slow over rate. So say they did that, say the top tier, say to start with, would it be Australia, England, India, South Africa as the reigning champions, and then New Zealand as the top 5? With, say, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, West Indies, I'm sure I must be forgetting somebody important there, Zimbabwe, maybe in that next 5, with then an Afghanistan, Ireland, maybe they could play as a knockout to get in amongst the team that finishes bottom. I don't know, there's options there, and I think that could work. Because it worked in like that Euro Nations League, didn't it, with the football, where they kind of localised it and they had 4, 4 and 4 and actually played for a trophy. So I quite like it. I think it stands a chance at making the cycle fairer as well, because you wouldn't have to play as many games and therefore wouldn't have to rely on this percentage point system. So I like it. I'm a big fan. Get it. Just make it happen. I like it. Number 2, and this one came from the official troll, which, I mean, for starters, that doesn't sound like the username of somebody that you particularly want to take seriously on the internet, does it? But they've said the World Test Championship final should stay in England, and if it moves away, it shouldn't be in Asia apart from Sri Lanka, maybe. Now, I'm not going to get into the bottom part of it because I don't really care as to where it would go if it wasn't in the UK, but I think it really does work in England. I'm sure it could work elsewhere around the world, but I think because of the neutrality of the finals that we have had, we've had what, India versus New Zealand, India versus Australia, Australia versus South Africa. That's all worked really well, and all 3 of them have been really well attended at the Ageas Bowl, Utility Bowl when COVID was still going on, the Oval, and then Lords. And obviously if England did manage to get there, it would be well supported as well, wouldn't it? But the UK generally has a fantastic mix of cultures and people from different places in the world. And you end up with a bit of a melting pot type situation where I think as a positive for it, you can then have an India versus Australia final and still have an incredibly well supported test match. I don't think it doesn't need England to be there for it to be popular. Now, we don't know whether that would be the case anywhere else around the world. We can only make guesses, and that's all I'm here to do really on this front. But if India made a World Test Championship final and it was hosted in Ahmedabad, it would have 100,000 people in there. No doubt about it whatsoever. If it was an England versus New Zealand World Test Championship final, would it have 100,000 people in there? I don't know, tell me, let me know in the comments whether you think that would be the case. Would it work in Australia if the West Indies played Sri Lanka, for example, at the MCG? I don't think it would, but I think it would in the UK. I genuinely do think it would in the UK. No, keep it in the UK. Keep it in the UK, I completely agree with you. It makes sense, just keep it there. Next one from Andrew DD. Says that full members should play more against associate members. I agree. I completely agree with you. The one thing that I kind of found a bit confusing about after that T20 World Cup, after they'd had that cricket in New York and the US, who'd done really, really well. Obviously they've got Major League Cricket now that's going particularly well, and there looks like some pretty good games going on out there at the moment. But why was there not more cricket played in New York? I know it was a temporary setup, but for the success of that in particular, if you could have England, Australia, India touring the USA before they go down to the West Indies in a white ball series, maybe go up there for like 3 T20s or something. It puts US cricket on the map, it puts associate cricket on the map. It extends further than that, and yes, I think there should be a bit of a hand-holding, helping system where and England and India and Australia, New Zealand, South Africa do play more against Namibia's and Kenya's and Canada's and the US and Papua New Guinea and Hong Kong. Look, cricket's a hard sport to monetize, as I'm finding out. You need help. Andy Nielsen has said that national players should play for their country over franchise cricket, no matter who they are. Is this aimed at Jasprit Bumrah? Is it aimed at Bumrah? I mean, they're not clashing at the moment, but has that workload that he's picked up with Mumbai, has that had any impact on his ability to only be available for 3 out of the 5 test matches against England? Is what we've been told by Gautam Gambhir. Maybe. Could he have played more? Could he play 5 test matches if he didn't play during the IPL? Had he not played those 2 months of slap bang giggle cricket with the Mumbai Indians? Could he play for the whole 5? Probably not. Probably not. I don't think that's the way that modern bowlers work anymore. Batters, I think they can just turn up. But yes, I agree with you. I think essentially club sport, which is what franchise cricket is, should be second fiddle to international sport. So the boards should have precedent over any of the franchise leagues around the world. That should definitely be the case. The boards don't have the money to compete with the franchise leagues around the world. There is the sticking point. But in an ideal world, yes, national duty, national representation, national games, international games should come ahead of club cricket games or franchise cricket games, because club cricket games makes it sound like you're turning that for Easter on a Saturday like I do. And that's not what we're talking about. Yes, absolutely it should be the case. Bowling, I understand, as I said, I don't think that's the way modern bowlers work anymore. I know it was only a couple of years ago since Broad and Anderson retired, but it feels like generations ago actually, with the fact that they would turn up, play each test over and over and over again and just keep going. So we've moved on, not gonna happen, but yes, I agree. I think national selection should come before franchise duty. ALX_R it's coming with a bit of Will Jacks. Will Jacks should be the first choice test spinner for England. Bat 8, and then Wokes or Atkinson slides in at number 9. I've had a look into this, and I've actually kind of pulled some numbers together because I wanted to come up with a scenario where Will Jacks wasn't the answer and Shoaib Bashir was the far superior spinner out of the 2 of them. And I haven't been able to do that. So statistics, they can be helpful sometimes, but I was looking into it and I don't think England actually care about statistics, but Jacks has played 4 first-class fixtures in the last 2 seasons, obviously focusing on white ball cricket. Also 45 career first-class wickets at 42s. So you look at that and you go, well, that's not fantastic, is it? But then you look at Shoaib Bashir's, who's got 80 first-class wickets at an average of 48. And it makes Will Jacks look, well, better, because that's what statistics are able to prove, doesn't it? It makes you have a better record. He's played less, but he's got more and he's got them cheaper. So that's a tick in the right box. And I was trying to prove with statistics as to why it shouldn't be Jacks, but clearly you can see that I failed. I'll be honest with you, I don't know why Shoaib Bashir gets the gig over anybody else. There's plenty of different options, whether it's Will Jacks, whether it's Jack Leach, whether it's Shoaib Bashir, whether it's Rayan Ahmed, whether it's Liam Dawson, whoever that might be. I don't know what it is that Shoaib Bashir has exactly that what makes him almost an undroppable pick. He is tall. They do like that extra bounce and they talk a lot about release points, and I think generally speaking he has done quite well under Ben Stokes' captaincy, but I couldn't tell you why. The troll's back. The official troll is back. England should play 2 test series against Zimbabwe and Ireland. I'm going to contradict myself to the point that I made earlier about supporting associate nation cricket, but we're talking specifically about test cricket right now. I think it all boils down to just pure financials. I don't think there's anything more than that. They quoted on the Wisden podcast after that Zimbabwe series, because Zimbabwe are going heavy on test cricket this year. And they were saying that actually for Zimbabwe, it cost them about £500,000 per test match to host it. I don't know how you get that back If England hosted an Ireland for 2 tests, it'll be more, call it £1.5 million, if not more, goes on 2 test matches against Ireland. Do the ECB get that back? TV rights, people in the grounds, bums on seats, concessions, drinks, food, merchandise, blah, etc., sponsorship, eyes. I don't think they do. I really don't think they do, and I don't know how that gets recouped. So it almost feels like the 1 test isn't enough, but also is a bit of an olive branch in relation to my earlier point about doing more to support associate nations. Even though Zimbabwe and Ireland aren't associate nations, they're full test playing nations. Caveat that, Daniel. You do know what you're talking about. It would be nice. It would be nice, wouldn't it? But it's a business. All of them are businesses at the end of the day. They have no divine right to trade or operate in the society and the setup that we have right now. There's different conversations to that as to whether that should be the case or shouldn't be the case. But they shouldn't be running on handouts. They should be running on whether they can make a profit or not. And if you can't make a profit from hosting or playing test matches, I don't really think there's much of a call for them. That's my opinion. That's my opinion on that hot take. Hector Wilson. Kumar Sangakkara has the best cover drive. Does he? It's good, but Ian Bell exists.
Oh, beautiful. Joy to watch if you're a cricket fan.
Ian Bell literally exists, and I don't know. I know it's subjective. Look, it's subjective. All of this is who has the best, who doesn't have the best. All of that other good stuff is completely subjective, and it means something to somebody specific, regardless of where they've come from. I'm sure Sri Lankan cricket fans would be queuing up to say that Kumar Sangakkara's cover drive is far superior to Ian Bell's. How many England cricket fans are going to be lining up to say that there's any better cover drive in world cricket than Ian Bell? There's that, oh, it's so good. And it just makes me feel warm. It makes me feel fuzzy. Not warm and fuzzy because it's 32 degrees outside, but warm and fuzzy because of nostalgia. I remember I started watching cricket in 2005. Ian Bell was part of that. And then obviously part of my kind of growth as a cricket fan. Ian Bell was an integral part of it. He made that brilliant quote. Don't try and hit it for 4 through the covers, just time it for 2 and you will get 4 anyway. I love it, it's beautiful, it's superb. Ian Bell's cover drive is the best cover drive in the world. Hector, you are completely and utterly wrong. Finally, Jofra Archer should not play Test cricket anymore. Well, he's in the squad. He didn't make the second 11, the second test, the England 11 for the second test. That works, doesn't it? Otherwise it makes it feel like he's playing for the 2s. He didn't make that 11. They said they had a family emergency the day before. Then the squad got announced, but then was back bowling with England again. And Ben Stokes was quoted in saying that he hadn't faced him for a while, and it was a bit of a wake-up call with just how good, how skillful, how quick, how much swing he generated that Jofra could actually get with that Red Duke. So the first question I think for that answer is why not? Why shouldn't Jofra Archer play Test cricket again? And I mean, that is the first question to figure out. And I think the main answer here would be obviously the injuries that he's had. He's had pretty much every upper body injury that you could ever possibly wish to imagine or inflict on somebody over the last couple of years. Even like splitting his finger open while dropping a fish tank, which isn't exactly cricket related, is it? But look, if there's an injury with regards to an elbow, a shoulder, a wrist, a back, a rib, an intercostal muscle, a stomach, a neck, a head, anything, Jofra Archer has pretty much ticked the box on one of those, if not twice, and potentially even a third time for some of them. So he's been incredibly unlucky. And I think that is the big thing. How resilient is Jofra Archer against those injuries? Can he keep getting them? Can he keep coming back? Does he have the fitness in order to last 5 days of Test cricket? That first test went for the full 5 days. And actually India are going to be tough. They're going to go the whole way. He's not going to play all of the Test matches if he comes in, is he? He's going to be rested. He's going to be rotated. It's going to be a Bumrah. Oh, he can play 3 of the 5. That's what Jofra Archer's role is going to be. Is he fit now? Apparently so. Apparently yes, and that's good. And I think a lot of England fans and a lot of world cricket fans would be pretty excited to see Jofra Archer back in a Test cricket shirt. He bowled 18 overs for Sussex up at Durham the other week, took 1 for 32 from that spell. So yes, he is bowling, and I do think Ben Stokes will use Jofra Archer better than what Joe Root did. We all remember those horrible midnight spells, don't we, in New Zealand, where he just got flogged over and over and over again. So yes, I think I'd love him to. I would love him to. Whether he does, I don't know. Look, there's been the first episode. Thank you so much for sitting through it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've not learned something, because that would be wrong, but hopefully you've generated some thoughts and some opinions of yourself. Of those 8 hot takes, let me know what you think of them. Let me know what your hot takes are. Follow me on Instagram, where I will post for the next kind of hot take collection. And I'll see you very soon.